Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思吃都还难
It's just complicated so much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei and join me today is our Tony Reid. Hello, Tony.
Fei, what's going on? Hello to the listeners out there. Hopefully we will take away some Chinese.
And Tony, I'm wondering, are you a sports fan of any sort?
Ooh, I used to be. When I was in high school and maybe even before that, I used to be big in basketball. That's largely because his airness was still playing, which is AKA Michael Jordan. And I was into boxing as well, and that was because Iron Mike was still boxing.
So you always have this star figure.
Yes, gotta have somebody to look up to and to just be dazzled by. I think that's kind of huge. And so for me, it was.
So would you watch their games religiously, like every one of the game, and you schedule your night and your life around it?
When Mike Tyson was fighting, everybody was like, it was like people would take time off and meet up. If somebody was paying for the pay-per-view, people would meet at one location, so that house would be packed with people. And it would be like a party of some sort, and we would, check out the Mike Tyson fight. Or for basketball, it's kind of the same thing, but I mean, it's more readily available on like everyone's TV, so most people would just watch that at home, and I would just watch it, of course. If the Bulls were playing, I would watch it until
So Michael Jordan was with the team
Chicago Bulls.
I don't watch any sports, but I have watched some games only after the food. Like most of the time, especially if there is a big game happening, my friends would arrange some sort of a party with a lot of food and drinks. And
so you were there to eat.
Yeah, I was there after the food. And I think, for example, at one time, I was invited to watch the Super Bowl. And the wings are delicious. I don't remember anything that night, sports-wise, but I remembered the deliciousness of the chicken wings.
Okay.
Yeah, so people watch football games for different reasons.
Yeah, clearly. I think that, there's probably a lot of other people who are like that too. I mean, people who are not really, like, I think my mother, she's not huge in football, but normally that's around the time of Thanksgiving. So there's always some good food. So.
It is. But I think one barrier for me as a non-sports fan, I think, is that sports has a lot of jargons when it comes to, certain movements, different strategies, and how to say the scores.
And the rules.
And the rules as well. So it confused me even in my own native language, the Chinese. And the same is happening in English as well, like how to say different things. So today, I think we'll delve a little bit into certain jargons and the way we speak and the words and expression we use in Chinese.
Okay.
And so first of all, as usual, we'll have a dialogue about a soccer game.
All right.
好球！我们扳平了比分。
这个前锋连进了2球，真是厉害。
是啊，希望我们能趁热打铁，反超比分，这样就不用将比赛拖入加时赛了。
对方的实力也不容小觑，现在很难说谁输谁赢。
So that's the whole dialogue, and as usual, we'll break it down sentence by sentence. And the first one is 好球。
好球. This is nice shot. So hao is good, and qiu, I would imagine, is like the try or the shot or the hit or something.
Qiu is actually the ball.
Okay, so good ball?
A good ball, and but I think here is more of having the shot. Basketball, 篮球.
Okay.
Having the ball, 球. Soccer, or in other countries, are called football. That's 足球.
Zoo?
足 as the foot.
足
球.
球.
So
Okay.
that's the ball. And also for American football, we call it 橄榄球.
橄榄球.
Because the American football is in the shape of an olive.
An olive?
A bigger olive. And so 橄榄 meaning an olive. And then, of course, the ball.
Olive
球.
ball.
Yeah, olive ball.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And then the second one, 我们扳平了比分.
This is we scored we have tied the game.
Yes.
Yeah. So 我们 is we, and then 扳平, right?
扳平.
扳平. This is like a draw or like a tie. And then 了 is like it's something that has been done. 比分.
比分.
比分. I think this is score, yeah?
Yeah, yes. So 扳平 is, I think, very specific when it comes to describing sports scores. 扳 meaning pull or turn.
Okay.
And so you are seeing that 平, of course, is tie or flat or level. So it meaning we are somehow managed to level the scores. 扳平.
Okay.
And 比分 is 比 meaning competition or game. And 分 is the score, so it's the score of a competition.
We've evened the score.
And then 这个前锋连进了2球，真是厉害。
This is the forward scored 2 goals in a row. This is pretty impressive. So 这个, I think this is this. And then 前锋.
前锋.
前锋. This is a forward, or this is a position on a team.
In soccer.
连, like after.
连 is in a shorter version of 连续, meaning continuously or in a row.
Okay. And then 进球. So 进, is this near?
No, this 进 is actually a verb. It means 进球.
Okay.
Score.
Score. 两球. So 两 is that 2? And then 球 is that's ball again, right? So 2 balls or 2 scores.
Well, for English, they have different words for it, but in Chinese, it's mostly 球.
All right. And then 真是. This is really, right?
Yes.
And then 厉害 is, impressive.
厉害.
厉害.
你真厉害. Meaning you are really impressive.
Okay. Really cool.
Yeah, really cool, really strong in a certain aspect.
Okay.
And then 是啊,希望我们能趁热打铁反超比分.
So this is he did. I hope we can keep it up and turn the tide. So 是啊, this is normally just an agreement sound. And then 希望, this is hope, right?
Yes.
我们 is we, 能 is can, 趁热打铁.
趁热打铁.
So this is an expression. I think this is another way of saying, I know the 热 is like hot.
Yes. So 趁热 is while it's hot. 打铁 is to sort of
Hit something.
hit the
Da,
iron.
right?
It's like in the metaphor of a blacksmith. Is that when you are trying to mold something of an iron, you have to heat it up and build it into the shape you want while it's hot, while it's burning hot. And this is the metaphor here, that you need to keep it up while you still have the energy or are still in the mood.
Okay, that makes sense. Strike while the iron is hot. Yeah. And then 反超比分. Oh, that sounds so weird when I try to use the tones. 反超, this is like turn the tide, right? And then 比分, I think we've done that already, right? This is like to score.
Yes, 比分.
Okay.
反 meaning in reverse. 超 is surpass. So 反超 meaning you were lagging behind before, and now you want to surpass them in the score.
Kind of like overtake them or to turn the tables.
Yeah, to turn the tables. 反超. also really specific in sports, in describing sports games as well.
Okay.
And then 这样就不用将比赛拖入加时赛了。
So this is then the game won't be dragged into overtime. So 这样, this is this way or
Yeah, this.
or then.
Yeah.
就 is actually then, right?
这样就 is more of a together.
Oh, it's in a set phrase. Okay. 这样就. So then or that way. 不用 means no need, right?
Yes.
And then jiang is, what's jiang here?
Yes, it kind of works as an alternative for 把. Do you remember 把字句? It's kind of a tricky language point for non-Chinese speakers. It's generally used like you are sort of emphasizing the things after 将 or 把. 将比赛, you take the game. You followed that with a verb to sort of emphasize you didn't want to drag the game into overtime.
Well, might have to spend a little more time explaining this jiang or how to use it. 比赛.
比赛.
比赛. This is the game. And then 拖入.
拖入.
拖入. This is to drag something, right?
Yes.
And then 加时赛.
加时赛.
加时赛. This is like overtime, right?
Yes, exactly. And then 对方的实力也不容小觑。现在很难说谁输谁赢。
This is the other team is also pretty formidable. It's hard to say now who will win. So 对方, is this the opposite team?
Yes, 对方.
对方 so the opposite teams. 实力.
实力.
Oh, 实力. This is strength. Yeah, also. 不容.
不容小觑. That's
不容
an
小
idiom.
觑. Okay, so this is like cannot be denied or cannot be underestimated.
Yes.
And then 现在 is now. 很难说. So 很 is very. 难 is difficult. 说 is say.
Yeah.
And then 谁输谁赢. It almost seems like an expression.
But it's not. So 谁输 is who to lose. 谁赢 who to win. It's just very difficult to say.
Who win, who lose.
Yes. That's the direct translation. And the 不容小觑 is actually a Chinese idiom meaning 不容 is not allowed. 小觑 觑 meaning is the ancient way of saying look.
Okay.
So do not look it, underestimate it. 不容小觑.
Cannot be underestimated. All right.
So, do you feel confident in doing the dialogue?
I don't know about this one, but that's
Well,
okay.
It's about soccer game. I guess it's not really familiar to you, consider you've been a basketball fan or and a boxing fan.
Right. But that's okay. 好球，我们扳平了比分。
这个前锋连进了2球，真是厉害。
是啊，希望我们能趁热打铁，反超比分，这样就不用将比赛拖入加时赛了。
对方的实力也不容小觑，现在很难说谁输谁赢。You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Feifei, and Tony Reid. We'd love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. And for more fun Chinese learning, you can also follow us on Facebook by searching Learn Chinese to watch many fun videos and live streams. And coming up next, let's learn more about watching a soccer game, 看球赛. Don't go away, so you'll take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Feifei, joined by Tony Reid. And Tony, we are talking about watching a soccer game, 看球赛, or more specifically, 看足球赛.
看足球赛.
Yeah, that's watch a soccer game. But, I mean, in direct translation of 足球 is actually football.
Okay.
But in different English football meaning different things, and I think soccer would make it more clear, right?
Just because you're just talking to an American, right?
Yes. Football meaning different things is the olive ball.
It's okay.
橄榄球.
橄榄球, right?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
And then in the dialogue we just went through, I think the use of 江 is quite confusing for you, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a formal alternative for 把, which also confuses a lot of the Chinese learners. And I think we can use some examples to make it clear. For example, 他将这些蛋糕都吃完了.
都吃完了. Okay, so that means he's eaten all the cake.
Yes.
Also, maybe this is in the passive tense, where it's just something that has happened already.
That's not necessarily true, because by using 将, it means to emphasize on the things following it. 这些蛋糕, meaning he finished all the cake. It's a construction of the sentence where when you want to stress certain part or certain element of the information, and to sort of move that information up front so that the other speaker will know what you are trying to emphasize here. 他将这些蛋糕都吃完了. He's eaten all the cake. So, but in direct translation, it will be he 将 this cake all eaten out. The speaker is trying to stress that he's eaten the cake.
Okay, so the cake is emphasized in this sentence then. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. It's not that he ate, or if he ate all of it, those things are not really emphasized. It's the cake that's emphasized here.
Yeah, he's eaten all the cakes or not the nuts or the drinks. So maybe they're trying to emphasize on the cake.
Okay.
And another example would be 我们将竞争对手打败了.
Oh, so we have defeated all the contenders.
So,
or our contenders. So 我们 is we, 将 again, 竞争对手打败了. So defeated is what?
defeated is 打败.
打败, okay. And then opponents or competitors are?
竞争对手.
Oh, so that means competitor.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so in this sentence, then I guess competitor is being highlighted?
Yes, we have beaten all the competitors, all our competitors.
So shouldn't there be more to this sentence? Because if you're emphasizing competitors, that means that there are other things that still haven't been defeated yet, right? So we've defeated our competitors, but we still have this or this to do. Because in English, we wouldn't emphasize we have defeated our competitors, you know? So if you're saying that, you're emphasizing competitors, that means that you still have other things that you need to deal with.
Yeah, but maybe that needs another sentence to give out the information on that. But if they are stressing on the competitors themselves, and this is the sentence structure that we can use. Or you can substitute the competitors into something else, like we've defeated Tony. 我们将 Tony 打败了. And I'm stressing Tony here.
It's just, in English, it's hard for me to get this because in English, if we're emphasizing, for example, he's eaten all the cake. If I said it this way, it means that he didn't eat other things.
Just the cake.
Yeah. So
this in English you don't have equivalent similar structure using 将, but like in Chinese we also can emphasize or stress certain part of the information by using our tones differently.
Yeah.
This sentence structure I think is also helpful in written forms, because in English, in print forms, you can use all the capital letters to emphasize that this is the word I'm stressing right now, but we don't have that in Chinese. And then we have other means and other structure of the sentence to put out our information in different ways.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So then this 将 is helpful in written Chinese, but in speaking, we don't necessarily need it. For example, like I could say 他这些蛋糕都吃完了. Can we say this?
If you want to say that, it would be 他吃完了这些蛋糕. The 蛋糕 would be in the end of the sentence. And if you move the 蛋糕 forward, yeah, if you move the 蛋糕 forward, you need the 把 or 将. 我将蛋糕吃完了. For example, if you're looking for some cakes in the office, and I told you, 我将蛋糕都吃完了. Don't bother looking for it. I've eaten all the cakes. So that's a possible context for this sentence.
And what does ba mean?
Ba is the same with 将 here. It's just different alternatives.
Okay, I think I kind of understand, but yeah, there's no English equivalent. So
yeah,
it
could be
bit...
difficult.
Yeah.
And I think we'll go through 把 sentence or 将 sentence in the future again.
Okay.
And then we can keep practicing it until it starts to make sense. But then I want to really checking in with you on watching sports games, really. About the things you do when you watch a sports game. For example, if you were watching a Chicago Bulls game with Michael Jordan in it, would you do something special to prepare yourself for the game, or you just turn on the TV and watch it?
I used to have his apparel, like the jersey. So sometimes I would wear his jersey while I watched the game, or I know after the game I would go outside and play basketball.
So you started to play basketball because of Michael Jordan?
It's hard to say. I think that my dad was a basketball player, so that might have been part of it, but definitely Michael Jordan was a huge reason of why I played it as long as I did and as passionately as I did.
I think in China, a lot of my friends who played basketball, they all have a similar sort of star figure in it for them to play basketball.
Yeah.
Some of them are really looking up to Michael Jordan, and there are also others looking up to Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Even I know about them. Even I watched 0 basketball games before. It's just their names keep popping up in my daily life, and I saw their posters everywhere, and also their jerseys on the street. And the boys were wearing their jerseys to play basketball. And somehow it's become everyday item that we see on the street all the time.
Right.
So I think in sports, to have this sort of a star figure,
it's kind of essential.
Yeah, it's very, very important for this type of sports to prosper.
Yeah.
Really.
If it's going to live, and if it's going to be part of, in a way, it becomes a part of the culture of that individual person, that individual family. And if the dad is into a certain sport, then the son or the daughter is going to be into it as well. And they're going to kind of carry this quote unquote tradition on. So it's you got to have either most team sports. There's always somebody that you like more so than other people. For example, if it's like the American football or 橄榄球,
yes.
橄榄球. You like the quarterback, or you like the running back, or you like these different people on the team. And so you wear their jersey. And again, it's just once you become a customer, then they are inseparable. So it's important to have these figures.
It reminds me of World Cup.
Yeah, I guess there's that too. They have jerseys.
One of the most famous, I think, sports events in the world. Even though I don't think it really rang a bell in America.
No, because we don't dominate. We don't dominate a World Cup football. So yeah.
Yeah. So some of my friends, they start watching football games, 足球赛, is because their fathers. Their fathers religiously watch a lot of football games, especially when it comes to European League. It happened at midnight here in China. And they stay up all night and watch those games. And they were really enthusiastic about these games.
Right.
But then somehow, as a non-sports fan myself, I was somehow dragged into that environment and that atmosphere, especially during World Cup. 世界杯 we call it in Chinese.
世界杯.
Yeah, World 世界 Cup 杯世界杯.
Okay.
And I remember we going to events, watching the game of a certain team, even though I have no idea how good is that team. I just know it's very famous. And people also wearing their jerseys. And also for girls, we also done the nails into the color of that team.
Wow.
And then we start, ordering food and drinks and start celebrating or not celebrating if the team lose. And it became, I think, also a cultural event of some sort. It's more than sports.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't watch any football
Yeah.
outside of that season. It's just a very seasonal thing to watch specifically only the World Cup.
Yeah.
Only watch 世界杯.
Well, it's buzzworthy,
Yeah.
and I think just for that, it's going to generate a lot more outsiders into it, just because everyone in the world is just kind of checking it out. Again, not so much Americans, but I mean, you do have some of us who have friends or possibly even family members that are into it. And so just to kind of to enjoy time or to connect with these people.
And also the same with Olympics.
Right.
奥运会, we call it.
What is that?
奥运会.
奥运会.
Yeah, that's the Olympics. It's also the time when people watch the games of a lot of sports they've never heard of.
Yeah, you share in that glory, right?
Yeah. And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei with Tony Reid here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can listen to the show and read the script there.
Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and much more. Just search for Takeaway Chinese, and don't forget to leave your comments, questions, and ratings.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time.
再见。